Happy Pride, friends! Welcome back to Mourning, people, the podcast for all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Queer, trans, NB, poly, ace. We are all welcome here. And probably none of us do grief right. I'm Nina, and today we're going to talk about the things that helped me even just a little bit. But before I get into it, I wanted to say that I don't know if I'm getting a cold or if it's allergies. Cottonwood season is upon us, and I don't know if the spring snow is making my voice all funny. Like my throat, it just feels really dry, and I've been coughing a lot. I'm stuffy. I don't know if I'm getting cold, but I've tried to record this like 15 times and I keep fucking it up. Like I'll start sneezing and then I'll have to go back and re-record, and then I listen to the final thing and it's like the worst editing. So bear with me. Also, I need to add that my dear friend Tori, hello Tori, has brought to my attention that I sound like Eeyore in my intro. So I figured what better time to sound enthusiastic and happy than Pride Month. So that was for you, Tori. I hope you liked it. Getting into the things that helped me stay human when I didn't know how to be. They aren't life-changing things. They weren't healing or closure. They just softened the sharpness of my grief, even for 5 minutes, even when everything else felt impossible. These are things that kind of helped ground me. A lot of these things I don't even do anymore. Like, I don't like them anymore. Some of them I still do. You'll see. But I think grief in general is such a personal experience. But I think it's also very personal, the little things that you learn to do to help yourself move through it. It's not a one size fits all thing, and everybody's going to find things that work for them. And when I was looking back on the times where I felt big, strong grief, I just kind of took notes of the things I would do, not like every time that I experienced grief, just little bits and pieces from all the big ones. So I just put together this list of things that help me, and it might sound silly to you and you might think like, what the fuck is she talking about? Why would she do that? But it's stuff that helped. When everything inside me felt like nothing, I didn't want another platitude. I didn't want a checklist for moving forward. I didn't want to be told to breathe or journal or visualize peace. I wanted something real and immediate. I wanted someone to sit with me and be like, yeah, that's really hard. Let's sit together. Let me hold space. Sometimes what helped me wasn't something profound. It was something small and unexpectedly comforting. And that's what this episode is about. Not fixing, not finding silver linings, just surviving with dignity. And like I said, it might sound silly that these things help, but you never know what's going to help, even if it's small or if you think it's silly. So here's what helped me. Not all the time, not in every moment, but just enough to keep me tethered to reality a little bit. Running my hands under cold water, almost always immediately followed by running my hands under warm water. I don't like having cold hands. My hands are always cold. It's very uncomfortable for me. But I found that the shock of the cold water felt better than the hurt and the sadness. And it really kind of helped ground me. And I still do this. I get overstimulated very easily. So once in a while, when I'm like really vibing, I'll run my wrists, like not my hands, but just my wrists under cold water. And it really helps bring you back, I feel. A weighted blanket, not to sleep, just, to sit on the couch with your snacks. I'm a snacky bitch. I always have a snack. And if I'm laying down, I don't like a weighted blanket on my body. It's not comfortable for me. But when you're sitting upright and you're binging a documentary and you just kind of like put it over your shoulders and it feels like a hug from someone who couldn't give you one. And I just think it's so cozy and it feels so nice, like a protection cloak. So that really helped me a lot. Dog videos, all the dog videos, but please approach this one with caution. I am at a point in my life where I can't even watch an uplifting, happy dog video. I cannot, like, I can't handle it. And I truly, in my heart of hearts, feel that there's nothing a human can do that will make us deserve dogs. They're just so authentically themselves and loving and sweet. And it just really gets me. And I don't know if maybe I spent too much time down the dog video rabbit hole in my grief, but like maybe I just completely ruined it for myself. I cannot handle that shit. So if you're going to do dog videos, please keep it at a minimum. Lighting a candle and blowing it out, not as a ritual, just breath and fire and done. For me, I don't know. I think part of it is I really like the smell of a burnt out candle. I don't know if it's something nostalgic or it brings me to some place in my childhood. I have no idea why, but I think there's just something so beautiful in doing it. It just reminds you that you're here. Watching cartoons, most of you will know that about me because cartoons, like, nothing bad ever really happens. And if it does, like, it's make believe. So it doesn't really matter. And okay, but when I was little, I used to watch Muppet Babies all the time. It was one of my favorite shows. And anytime they would get into hot water, I would leave the room. I would go sit in the bathroom and I would kind of like time out in my head when I think Nanny has figured out what they were up to and they've already like experienced the repercussions of their actions. Like everything is resolved now, the trouble is over, and then I would come back into the into the room because I didn't like trouble. I really didn't like trouble. It would give me horrible anxiety, and it still does. Like that's another reason why comfort shows are so important to us, right? We already know what's going to happen. There's no surprises. But even now, I'll get super into a series. Like, normally a cartoon, I rarely watch anything with people in it. But I'll get super into a series, and after a few seasons, I'll stop watching because I just can't handle trouble. I will be talking to my therapist about this. Some other things that have helped is reaching out to friends without needing a reply. Crackers, always crackers. Just basic, manageable food. Listening to one song on repeat, like I was trying to bleed through it. And I still do this. I do this often when you hear a really good song and you just suck the dopamine out of it and then you never listen to it again. So that kind of helps me on a regular day too. Laying in the dark and letting the ceiling hold my story for a while. And I do that with music, like on headphones. It's very cathartic. None of this made me better, but some of it made me feel less alone in my skin. I don't know why it helped, but I do know that grief doesn't want to be cured. It wants to be witnessed. So if something helps you, no matter how strange or unproductive it seems, just let it help. It could be screaming into a pillow, screaming into the void, swearing at the sky, swearing in your car, sitting in the shower just to feel something warm, swearing in the shower. It could be talking out loud to someone who's gone, holding a rock you found on the day they died, keeping their playlist on in the background like a ghost lives there. You don't need to justify what works. You don't need to explain why something made your grief feel more breathable. I just gave so many examples of things that probably sound completely bananas, but it, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make space. I want to ask what helped you, even if it was just a little bit. Was it a smell, a song? Was it something someone said to you? You can always message me on Instagram at Mourning People Podcast. Send me a DM and let me know. I would never share your stories without permission. I just really want to build let's build a big, weird, beautiful library of all the things that helped us stay alive through loss. I really feel like there's something powerful in naming it. And there's power in knowing we're not the only ones making it through on crackers and Bob's Burgers. Thank you for showing up today. You don't need to be improving. You don't need to be okay. You just need to keep going at your own pace. I say it all the time. Grief isn't a timeline and you're not behind. Take what helped, leave what didn't, and remember that anything that lets you stay just for today is worth honoring. Before I go, I wanted to say that if you're struggling right now, you're not alone. Grief can be heavy, confusing, overwhelming, and sometimes it's just too much to hold by yourself. If you need someone to talk to, or if someone you love is in crisis, please reach out. Call Talk Suicide Canada at 1-833-456-4566 or text 45645. You deserve support, you deserve relief, and you don't have to do this alone. Take care of yourself, my friends. Check in on yourself. Check in on your friends. I'll see you next time. You're not alone. You're a morning person. Bye.